I guess just from a pitching perspective, it looked pretty deliberate to get a lot of the veteran arms that you've been trying to rely on for most of the year out there. Just how do you think those guys responded and got some zeros up?
Yeah, it was a great night for the pitching staff. Sanford's a really good hitter. He had a mistake off of Thatcher. 4 or 5 really good players. Like, they've obviously won a lot of games. They got some good baseball ahead of them this year. For me, it was almost like a little bit of a redemption game for a lot of those guys, and I'm super proud of them. They all have talent. They've all been punched in the gut a little bit and really responded tonight. And when I put my head on the pillow tonight, that's what I'm going to think about. And super happy for those guys because they're all good kids. They're all hard workers. They have ability. They've been through it a little bit, but they really performed tonight.
With Brady, how important is it for him to, kind of use tonight as a springboard into conference play over the next 5 weeks?
Yeah, I think, he's a talented player. He's so good. Like, I feel like I'm on his case probably more than anybody on the team because I really believe in his ability. And he's a super important part of our team. He's one of those guys, if he plays well, we win, And so in that regard, it is important.
How do you go about staying on him?
Well, he loves baseball, and he cares a lot. And, he was one of those guys I felt like it was super important for us to get him here through the draft. And hasn't been smooth sailing. He got hurt. And, more than just not being available for our team the back half of last year, there's a lot of development opportunities missed. And he's super young. And then we had to be very careful in the fall because he wasn't fully healed. So, this is really like his freshman year is what I would say. And so I think he's learning. He's competing. He's smart. He's a really intelligent kid. And, he cares. So we're going to get there. I really believe we're going to get there with him. And I do know when he plays well, our team usually wins.
And the next step you think is, getting the sort of direction he's had against non-conference play. He's been excellent against non-conference play and translating that to against the SEC.
I mean, that would be great. But that's every SEC team. Honestly, if you look at their numbers outside of league and inside of league, it's not the same thing. I think we're now 20-3 outside of league. In baseball, that's good. Like, that's a good. We're not where we want to be from the season point, but that's a positive. And so it's definitely harder. And all of our players, it's just like elevating themselves in baseball, or graduating to another level of it. Once they leave the SEC, they're going to have to graduate to professional baseball and hit marks to be able to move up in a pro system. So in that regard, yeah. But like I said, there's not a ton of freshmen running around the league having a ton of success. And really, he's kind of still in his freshman year because of his age and because he missed, significant time last year.
Larson, speaking of freshmen, Larson's giving you guys
doing a great job. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, just what do you think has been the biggest growth for him?
Yeah, I think he's really strong mentally. He's one of those guys that does build his entire life around baseball. Like, this is his deal. I think he's a very pure hitter, and I've said this a couple times recently. Like, I've been more comfortable with guys that are hitters that develop into power as they get stronger and older and more mature. Sometimes it's a little backwards when it's power over the hit tool. And you certainly want to have both and have the guys like that develop both. I think he's a good candidate for that. And he does hit the ball with power in batting practice. But I love the maturity of the at-bats. Seems to have grasped what we want our hitters to do, probably as good as anybody on the team, and that's something that I feel really good about with him.
What allows him to sort of grasp onto what you guys?
I think there's a few. He's incredibly intelligent. Academic scholarship type guy, incredibly intelligent. I think the care level / investment in himself as a baseball player is what you want it to be. And then he's learned quickly, and he's just in control of himself. And self-control is, like, we talk about this all the time. Like, your ability to have self-control is like the most important weapon that you never want to give away. And I think he's got that. And so he's a little bit advanced for his age right now. And, we've struggled, but this is not an easy place to crack in as a freshman. And he's deserving of all the opportunities to get in right now.
The offense scored runs in 4 of the 8 innings tonight. Just what do you think about, like, the consistency throughout the game?
Thought it was good. They played a Division II team this weekend and held one of their weekend starters. So Blake owes me a lunch somewhere or something for trying to pull a fast one on me. But yeah, I think it was good. I think I like that. Paxton drew a walk, stole a base. They threw it in center field, got to third. Tommy is a good RBI guy as anybody. 2-strike hit. I like scoring that way. I thought we hit some balls hard early on. It didn't get rewarded for them. And then, Jared, hit a line drive out of here, and then, Paxton another walk. So it was great. He gets on base a couple times up there at the top of the order. Steven, really good swing on a mistake pitch and allows Paxton to utilize his speed and score. And then I think we hit a couple home runs, after that, Brady and Hayden. And then I don't remember how we scored the other run, but thought it was a good complete game, and hopefully something to build off of.
And a big part of your philosophy is to get some of those hard line drives, hard
Yeah.
line balls, and I know that's maybe sometimes been a little bit of a struggle
Yeah.
to do it consistently.
Yeah, it has.
Do you feel like you guys are anywhere closer to getting to be in?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's so day to day, and we have had no breathing room with who we've seen and played to develop confidence with guys that haven't played, and that's the whole self-control and confidence is the whole deal. And we got to fight our way through it. And as coach, I'm going to be incredibly positive, with the team. Communicate with them well, be very consistent, keep it about baseball and play, and try to help them through it, because, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We can't do anything about where we're at, but we can do something about where we're headed. And so tonight I thought maybe it was a good step in the right direction of being in control of yourself and playing with some confidence, and then some good at-bats followed that.
Two more for Coach.
With Paxton, it definitely seems like he, stays within his zone and he takes a ton of walks. It's just, what do you think is that next step for him to start driving the ball?
I'm going to go back to Vanderbilt. I don't know what the stats are since Vanderbilt for him. I think he's taken way better at bats. And you might have to sift through, hey, maybe there was an 0 for 3. There was the other day. But he put the ball in play hard with 2 strikes twice, where that wasn't happening maybe if you take it back to Florida. You know what I mean? And he's from Pennsylvania, and maybe it took him a year and a half, to get moving. He's certainly talented. I think he's growing up a lot, going through some of the difficulties and struggles. I'm optimistic for the second half of the season for him, and I'm optimistic for next year, in terms of what he can become, because I love the person so much. So I'm excited about that, and I think if he stays on course, we're going to continue to see a more productive player, and I think we've seen a more productive player, let's just call it the last 8 games. Regardless of what the stats say, I see a way better player.
With Thatcher, is it just eliminating the mistake pitch?
Well, I got the leadoff guy out. We walked the second guy. Sanford's a good hitter. Obviously, he was here, before I got here, and he's really turned into a really nice player for them, and a reason they're having a good season. And he made a mistake, and the guy hit it. I haven't watched it. I don't know if the ball was supposed to be at the floor or what. But then I was proud of him after that. He got in a little bit of trouble, and keeping it at 2 right there. That was a big deal. And then getting a 0 after we scored, that was a big deal. So I thought it was good that he did those 2 things.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. I'll see you in a few hours.
Yeah.